stayed at the same level and did not grow at the same rate of the needs for more seats in classrooms, more jobs, and for more services. Since there was no new money to cover the new state needs, the people of the state began to experience more and more budget cuts.
When I was a freshman at Brookline High, budget cuts threatened to eliminate social workers. I think that social workers are important. A 10th grader who will remain anonymous said, "If my social worker gets fired, I will go to the bathroom every day during lunch and cut myself."
At the same time, 3 miles away in Roxbury, Daquan, a sophomore at New Mission High, found out that his job was being threatened by budget cuts. Daquan loved working as a youth organizer in Dorchester, and he depended on this state-funded job to help his mother pay the monthly phone bill. There is not enough in the budget for both, so who will it be? The social workers
Or youth jobs,
the suburbs?
or the city.
Which cause is more worthwhile?
We are not hardwired to fight against each other. We learned this. A budget that never grows forces us to pick and choose.
4 years ago, a group of teens from across Boston and from the suburbs came together and heard each other's stories and decided all young people are important and all young people should have opportunities for success. This group of youth came together and they refused to choose.
These young people formed Youth of Massachusetts, organizing for a reformed economy, YMORE, and they demanded more money in the state budget for young people.
We knew we needed more revenue. We need more rope. But they told us it wasn't the right time. For years, YMORE kept pushing for more, and now, finally, the timing is right. That is why today, we are gathered here with you, youth groups and coalitions across the state who are demanding for the resources to lead vibrant lives.
We know that young people need more than just social workers and youth jobs. Now we will hear from other youth leaders from across Greater Boston who are fighting for youth priorities, threatened by budget cuts, and by public education, systems, and youth jobs. They are products of this state's investments.
But what about us? There are a lot of us here in YMORE now. It makes us powerful.
We care about many different things.
No matter how cliche it sounds, we are still the future of Massachusetts. What are you going to invest in us? We think it is time.
How will the civil war go today? Who will win away?
Education,
Alternative education?
youth jobs.
Or transportation?
We reject this choice again. We need more rope, and we need more revenue. What if each of you, each of us, and each of our communities contributed what we could, each of our own means, so that the larger growth, the budget, could sustain us all? So, what if we didn't have to struggle? We don't have to imagine this. There is a way. We can get our needs met, invest in our future, make this Commonwealth an even greater place if we have the courage to ask. What if we all had a shot at the opportunities and life we imagined for ourselves?
This is what bringing more progressive revenue looks like. Everyone gives what they can, and everyone has the opportunity to succeed.
All of us, hold up what you can. Scarves, ties, or even just your fist. When I say we are, you say tied together. We are! Tied together! We are! Tied together! We are! Tied together! Take a look around. We are here today because we know our futures are bound up with each other. We can make a difference in our own lives and our future. We're here today reminding our elected officials that their decisions affect our lives. We are here to support our elected officials who are leading with courage and challenging those who believe we should compete with each other.
The governor has put out a proposal for a progressive tax system. We thank him for his leadership and his courage. That is why we invite him to speak with us today. YMORE has been working on this issue for years, and we have met with dozens of legislators in support of progressive revenue. We in fact just met with 11 legislators today. Governor, we invite you to share a few words about the importance of raising progressive revenue, and ask you, will you stand together with us?
Well, is it Tima? Tema? And Noli? Thank you very much for your leadership. I want to thank Representative Balzer for making the space available. Representative Rodriguez is here. Thank you all for being here. And let me be among the many who welcome you to this house. This is your house, the State House. And you make it your house by showing up and making your voices heard and making your views known. Because we don't work for some abstract thing called state government. We work for you. We work for you. And I'm glad you're here. And I hope those behind me will excuse my having my back to you. What I have asked is not in some abstract sense for just new revenue for the sake of new revenue. Nobody ever wants to run for office for the sake of raising taxes. The question is, are we going to make the kinds of sacrifices in our time that our grandparents made for us to give us the opportunities we have today? During the blizzard last month, I was out on the pike at a point when you actually weren't supposed to be out on the pike. We had made all the big decisions about whether to declare a state of emergency or do the driving ban. We had pretty firm and confident weather forecasts at that point, and the only folks out on the pike at that particular moment were plows and emergency vehicles and me, going to or from, in my case, the emergency bunker in Framingham. And I was so struck by how quiet the pike was, knowing that as soon as the storm was over, everybody would be back crowding that road just as fast as they can. Why? Because we depend on it. We take it for granted. And I thought to myself at that time, our grandparents gave us that. We get to take the pike, or the T, or commuter rail, or this building, or any number of school buildings for granted because our grandparents made a decision in their time to sacrifice so that their lives and ours would be better. And what I am asking of all of the people of the Commonwealth today is to call that question in our time for you and for your children. What sacrifices are we prepared to make to have a 21st century, modern, safe, and convenient transportation system that actually reaches every corner of the Commonwealth rather than just some? What sacrifices are we going to make in our time to assure that the 33,000 3- and 4-year-olds come off the wait list and into quality early education programs? What kinds of sacrifices? What kinds of sacrifices are we willing to make at a time when the global economy is in the middle of a knowledge explosion? Really and truly to make college affordable for you. What kinds of sacrifices? And it is quite clear to me that there is broad consensus that the investments we are talking about making should be made. That it's worthy to invest in transportation, that it's worthy to invest in education and in workforce development. And I think there is a strong sense that that should happen, not just by the people who work in this building, but the people in the general public. The issue is always the heart. How do we pay for it? Are we really willing to ask of each other a little more in order to get a lot more? So I see the question very much not as about abstract policy or more revenue for revenue's sake. The question is, are we all in this together? Are we going to lift this Commonwealth together? Are we going to invest in our future together? With your help, I am sure we will. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Governor, for that lovely speech.
And thank you to Representative Baker for helping us get this space to be such an awesome house.
Representative Balzer.
Sorry.